Hi, everybody. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty today. Hopefully, you can hear me. Um, if you can't, let me know, please. I had to go on and off because no one could hear me, so I'm hoping you can hear me right now. Anyway, Spirit has led me to come and speak with you this morning about a few things, and one of those things was my reflections on 2020. I feel as though all of us have had different degrees of the same thing. But one of the things that I believe that is really important about this particular month in the pandemic, or as we are going along, is that it's been over 9 months since a lot of us have been what I want to say sequestered because I was stopped going anywhere pretty much in March. And today's December, and you know it takes 9 months to birth a baby. So sometimes, if you look at things metaphorically, then you can find the meaning in it that maybe you weren't able to find just in the everyday living. It's always much easier to look back upon reflection than it is to look at it directly as you're going through it because it's not pleasant. A lot of things aren't pleasant that we're going through. Thanks, Renee. So I wanted to reflect, but first wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas late and a Happy New Year. And I hope, even if some of you had a sparse Christmas or a sparse celebration, that you did get to see the people you loved and maybe break a little bread in a socially distant way. We had our Christmas outside under one of those great big white tents, and we all double masked. We all sat 6 feet apart, and um, we washed our hands a hell of a lot. But it was 31 degrees out there here in Washington State, but it was worth every minute of it because we just don't know. Every day is so precious. I wanted to see my people, but I didn't want them to get sick, and I didn't want to get sick. And so, in a world where a lot of people are taking chances, you can call me the eternal optimist, but I might look more like a pessimist to some people. Anyway, so. So I hope you're sitting around at this point, at some point in the day, and you're thinking about how 2020 was for you. And, yeah, we can first say, yeah, it really sucked. It was awful. This happened, that happened. It was bad. This was bad. We had a ranting and raging leader. We had lots of problems. We had crime. We had protests. But a lot of those things contain the seed for something good. And the way that we look at it makes a huge bit of difference. So, what I was attempting to say in the last broadcast was that I had been listening to several readers who are reading already for the new year and also who have read for 2020. And a lot of them have been bringing up, in my particular case, I'm a Libra, and in my particular case, the beginnings of something new, communication, working with a global audience, helping to uplift humanity. Hi, Cindy. And also to offer any insights that I have, but also to get those insights shared back. And I know that some of you who will be watching this, who are watching this, saw our manifestation video on Tuesday with Andrea from Lilac Lantern, who is a sweetheart. And we ended up doing a little bit of manifesting. And so I'm hoping all those truckers are back home where they belong. And I hope you're thinking about what it is that you want to manifest in your own life, but also in in the congregate, in the global atmosphere, because what's good for one can be good for other. So yeah, I'm glad you were able to see it. Staying positive is one of the things we have to really be diligent about coming up, especially in the new year, because we're really tired. Oh, Renee, you have a Libra moon. Okay, very good. Mine's Pisces. That's why I get really sensitive about things. But that's awesome. And my Capricorn is my rising sign. So, oh, what do you know? Okay. um, I wanted to tell you that a couple of years ago, a friend of mine was telling me about choosing a word for the year. And you can even get a bracelet that has it's called My Intent or something. And the first year that I had the bracelet, I believe that that was 2 years ago. I can't remember it was transformation. And I love that word. I really love it because it's transforming oneself in many different ways, body, mind, and spirit. But transformation also is formation of a trance, or bringing yourself into balance with that which may not be real yet. So I think that it works really well with my word for this year, which is manifesting. And I decided on that the other night. This year, 2020, it was clarity. And I really do believe, as I'm sitting here today, thinking back on the year, that um, I have received a lot of clarity, but that's an ongoing thing. I think we all can get more clarity when the further that we go. Oh well, I'm glad to know that. Good. I like intention rocks. I've got some mixed in with my other stones, like hope and faith and peace and a few others. So, um, one of the other things that I did, I journal every day. I journal quite a bit. I recommend it. Some people don't want to do it. That's fine. I do. I sit down every day, and I had two books that I started out with and reflected upon the writing. Um, One of them was on Stoicism by Ryan Holiday, and the other one was Tolstoy's Calendar of Days, which was from about 110 years ago. But I like Leo Tolstoy. He's a great writer. He wrote War and Peace, and he wrote other things. And every day I start out with whatever the message is. I go over the message. Sometimes it does not resonate with me, but I will find some gem within it that I can write about, even if it's, I don't really agree with this, but I agree to disagree, that kind of thing. So this year I'm going to be doing two other books. One of them is The Tao of Joy, and it's a daily reading every day. And there's another one, and I don't remember it, but I'll share it with you when I get it. Okay, Cindy. Pisces sun. I have a lot of Piscean friends. That's wonderful. A Libra moon. Oh, so you and Renee are the same moon. And that's awesome. Hopefully, you've had a progressed chart done on yourself. There's some things in there that I found out about myself probably in the 80s that blew my mind, what they could see. And one of them was what they could see in my childhood that happened that they had no way of knowing. And one of those things was that my father would leave the house and go away when I was 2 to 2.5. And the reader thought maybe he divorced my mother, but no, he went into the tuberculosis hospital. He had tuberculosis and was gone for over a year and a half. And it really affected me because my brother then became my father, and so to speak. He was 13. And so I did everything with him. So I have a lot of strong male energy and feeling around that. But the other things that she told me were, she did a karmic astrology, and it was very fascinating. So if you get I know it's a little expensive, but if you get a chance to do it, it's fun. So we were in a 4-year this year in numerology, and we're going into a 5-year. And a 5-year, if you're looking at the tarot card, is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is the holder of sacred wisdom. And the Hierophant shows up in quite a number of readings, especially at Lilac Lantern. I've seen her bring that up many, many times. It also is a year of dynamic change, and we must be open to adopt to the new things that are happening. And so I'm feeling pretty good about it being a 5-year. I think it was a 5-year, but I'm trying to think, 81 was a 5-year. That was a hell of a long time ago. But you can also find out what your personal year is just by taking your month, year, and date of birth and adding all the numbers up and coming up with a number. And that would be that. And there's tons of places you can look at online that tell you what that means. But I love numerology. I think numerology is, I just love everything. I love how everything sort of works together, astrology and tarot and numerology and the runes and other things. So getting back to, though, some of the reflections that I started to take as of yesterday, I had bought a new deck of cards, and it's called Threads of Fate, and this is the Rose edition of the Threads of Fate. I just hadn't been, I love my Sacred Traveler cards, but I hadn't been able to find anything that really just, yes, this is it. Well, I opened them yesterday and really spoke to me. So the first card I pulled was the Weaver. And as you know, the Weaver is the person that weaves together things, or weaves together the community, let's say. And Ooh, Renee, that's a pretty good number. Mhm. Um, and the weaver brings in and ties things together. And I think that that's probably part of what I'm supposed to be doing here. And accordingly, in a tarot reading that was done by Marianne in the Australian, she's in Australia. Does your charts for your sign, and she said that there's a lot of sacred wisdom being in, and I will share my insights and also get insights from other people. So it's like, wow, this is really awesome. So that fits in with my weaver. The next thing, though, is absolutely me, but not in a bad way. I don't take this as a negative card. It's called the Outlaw. Okay. It's a beautiful card. But the outlaw is the person who wants to do things differently, doesn't want to, just absolutely go with the norm. Wants to be the not the outsider, but the one that aspires to do something that is magical or different or in a new way. And it's like, oh yes, I can weave together new ways to yantara manifest. Now this blew my mind, right? This absolutely did. It didn't. It didn't. So I love these cards. I'm going to be reading on more of them. But this was for me to be the weaver, but do it in an outlawish way, which is not to be illegal. That's not what the word is, but and to manifest. So there we go. We're going to manifest this fabulous community. And I think that it's already started and it will just continue and it will flow and new things will get added and some things will get changed. And I'm a big proponent of change. Once you realize that nothing stays the same, nothing stays the same. Yeah, I'm a renegade, I guess. An old renegade, a crone renegade. Um, Once you realize nothing stays the same and you allow yourself to change with the changes that need to happen, and if something continues to happen over and over again, ding dong, maybe you better figure out why it's happening. And if you don't want that to happen, then make the change. Barack Obama got really picked on for talking about change and hope and all those things. I thought it was one of the most fabulous things he could have done. But a lot of people, and I mean a lot, aren't ready for change, and they certainly don't want to change our country. They want to bring it back to what it was, and we're beyond that. We're moving in a different area. That doesn't mean there can't be traditions. There can't be things that can remain the same. But well, Cindy says it's funny. She's always been that way, and I'm sure Renee has too. Renee, you're a crone. Are you over 50? I don't know. A crone usually is a woman who has lost the ability to have children, but maybe you don't want them anyway. I don't know. I think anybody can be a crone. So, yeah, I think a renegade is a good word, and someone who pushes the envelope, but in a good way. Not illegally, not hurting anybody, just finding new ways to do things, and I love that. So there's another thing I wanted to talk about, and I want to make sure that everybody knows this. Oh, your name means crone. I like that. Okay. I want to talk about crystals. Not a lot. I want to talk about double terminated. You can see both ends. Very powerful. This is a beautiful piece that I just got. Do not leave your crystals, particularly your regular crystals, your quartz crystals, anywhere near your computers, please. Don't lay them by the side of it. Don't keep them on the same table. If you do, keep them way far away. My brother lost a few computers that way, and they interact with some of the is it Pisia something energy. Can't think of it. I'm not science. I'm not science. I'm not math. So anyway, so there's a double terminated one. And you're going to feel called to one. And the one you're called to for is the one you need. So don't second guess anything. That's the hardest thing to do because I live my life doing that. So I have to tell you, as you're bringing up your names, um, Oh, I see. Your last name is. My name is Alice, really, not Allie, but I like Allie because it's Alice Lee. But my name means truth, and truth is very important to me. So, all right, here's a palm stone that happens to be a fluorite, and they're wonderful. They're wonderful. They fit into the palm of your hand. They're polished usually, although you can get one that isn't polished. I love fluorite. Fluorite is it's a very breakable stone. Be very careful with it. That's all. Or you can get heart-shaped ones. This is not a pink quartz. It's another stone, but I thought it was gorgeous. So there's that one. But this one here is my special stone. I found this when I lived in Houston. I went to a store and this was screaming at me, and it's called the shaman stone. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but it looks like, you probably, there. It looks like there's a bird in it. Can you see the bird? It is my favorite stone, and I remember at the time when I bought this stone, I wasn't that rich, and this was $100 for this stone, and that was back in the '90s. So I don't know how much it would be, or maybe they just marked it up because they felt it had this look like there was looks like that it's a bird in there, which makes it called the shaman stone. But anyway, it's traveled with me in many sacred circles. It's always been my companion. I feel like it knows me best. And I just, so when we manifest again, I will be holding my shaman stone. I know Andrea was talking about little crystals you could hold while we manifest. But like I say, just remember, do not leave your stones right by your computer. My brother had several laptops blow out. He couldn't figure out why. Then he was told. Um, so I'm a big fan of blues. I like purples. I like pinks. Um, a lot of people have other types of stones. Any kind of black stone is for grounding if you're wanting to stay more. When we say grounding, we mean when we're sort of flying away and everything's in our mind, we need to be brought back to the earth. Grounding is a good black stone, obsidian, or some of the other black stones, hematite. You can find other stones. And I'd like to do some work with stones. I had a reader that was going to come on, maybe she still will, that will talk a lot about them. I think it's just so much affirmation that those things that are there. Some people can really feel the energies of them. Some can't. I have had on and off luck. All right, so Cindy, you have a large piece of selenite on the shelf. Yes. Okay, good. Yes, even selenite can do that. Yeah, yeah. It's a cleanser. That's why. I have it and I lay my stones on it, and actually found a bowl that I got. It's very small, only about this big, but I put some of my smaller stones in it to cleanse them and clear them. But yes, selenite, it's just not a good idea to leave your stones by your computer. Now, mine are back here. I have some back here, but they're far enough away that they're not near my computer. So, all right. Renee, you have a fascinating story there. Your name is the rebirth of pure ancient feminine wisdom. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Um, I want to tell you a couple of things also if you get a chance. Look at the New Yorker for 2021. I guess it's a January edition. I saw it on Facebook. It's just the cover of the New Yorker. I want you to take a look at it if you can, because it has some fantastic symbolism in it. You can find tons and tons of symbolism. It's not spiritual symbolism. It really speaks to the year we've had, and the kind of Scroogian end to it, as you well know, that we're experiencing by our illustrious leader. Very interesting. Another thing that I'll pass along to you is that there's a writer named Julia Cameron, and she's been around since 1992. She's got a new book out. It's called The Listening Path. And she's doing a Zoom meeting out of the East West Bookshop in Seattle. But of course, you know, Zoom is everywhere. It's $35. It's going to be on the 16th of January. And the book is included in the Zoom meeting, so you're paying $35, but you'll be getting the book. They'll mail it to you. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, she's fabulous. And anytime you can get together with a group of people that can talk about something new, and listening is something that we all can have a difficult time with at times. So anyway, awesome. Um, I haven't cleared it yet with Andrea, but I believe that our next manifest will be on the 19th of a Tuesday, not the 19th of January, because it worked out well for her to do it on a Tuesday. So I'm just kind of putting it out, but we'll let you know. Um, and I think, and we'll be doing it on her channel. We're going to flip back and forth every other month. We'll do it on ours, and we'll do it on hers. That way, we can be manifesting good things for both channels. And I want you to think about what should we manifest again that might be, quote, provable. Not that we need proof of anything. Sometimes people feel like, though, that their efforts are not provable. So we could pick something that could be provable, but also um, what we as light workers would like to manifest in the world, or in with the coronavirus, or with world peace or hunger or any of those things, and bring those ideas to us so that we can have something to talk about that night as well. What else? I'm going to probably be doing another channel at some point on the hero/heroine's journey, which talks about different ways that we step into life and how what we go through, and very fascinating. And that's based on Joseph Campbell's idea of myth. And I use it in my humanities classes, and it's just really powerful to know about. So I'm going to try to do that for you guys. And uh, what else did I want to say? Um, I heard something about the planetary energies that we just came through and are currently going or into now. And the first one was that there was a Pluto conjunction or something that was going on in January, early 2020 up through March. And the collective on that was that Pluto brings in pandemics and viruses. I thought that was unbelievable. And now with Jupiter and Saturn, which we talked about the other night, it says that, as we know, Jupiter's expansion, Saturn's limitation. But expansion means it will go globally, which we know it will, but we've got to keep our eye on it. We've got to really, it means the virus is going to continue to travel and possibly also to morph into whatever, because it's already done it. So I'm not telling anybody this to be negative or anything else. I think it's really hard to stay focused. It's really hard to stay patient when we want to just let things lighten up a bit. I don't know that I don't know if I'll ever feel anyway completely out of this. I'm thinking that anytime I go out, probably, because I'm an older person, I will probably continue to wear a mask, because I just, as a matter of fact, I teach a lot of international students at the community college, and of course we're online now, but many of them, when they have a cold or anything that they have, they wear masks, always. They always have, from Japan, from China, from Korea, from the Southeast Asia, Vietnam, they come in, and first I thought that's really weird, and now I think it was fabulous, because they cared about other people and what they had. So I just want to leave you with, this is kind of a riffing into this and a riffing into that, but you know me, I like to sort of bring in all different things. I think it's fun. I want to leave you with an admonition, I guess. Just, you don't have to write anything. Just think about what did you learn about yourself in 2020? What did you learn? It could be something very small. It could be that you are a pretty good cook, or it could be that you do like documentaries now, or you actually read a book, or you whatever. It doesn't have to be huge. It can be very small, because very small is huge. Okay. Also, how did your values guide you? Did you find yourself also having an argument, I guess, with other people, and what they weren't doing, what they were doing, frustration. Um, that's something to reflect back on. And the next thing is, what is your vision? What is your, because in your vision lies your power. And that's all the part of the manifesting that we were talking about as well. Your power comes from the vision that you have. And life's potential is either very delicate or very fragile. And we know that more this year than we've ever known it before. Um, but we also sell our potential very short. Many times we say, well, I can't do that. No, I'm not, that's not like me. I don't, I can't talk on YouTube, or I can't stand up in front of a crowd, or I can't go roller skating because I'll fall, all those things. But once we've met the challenges and we meet those with courage and creativity, you might have found a new way to do something. A lot of people did Zoom Christmases. They weren't as wonderful as they would have been if you had met in person, but they were available for everybody to do. Which, well, I take that back. I realize there are people that don't have internet and don't have maybe even electricity right now. So I don't want to say that I'm any better than anyone. But honor your loss this year. Honor whatever losses that you had. Honor them. Reconcile if you can, even though that's not always possible. Reconcile yourself to those losses and make a commitment that the vision that you will hold for this year is to stay positive, help other people, just smile at them, talk to them, be there for them, listen to them, share wisdom with them, because really, we don't know where we're going to be tomorrow. And I don't care who you are. You can be a little child. I just saw one of the people on CNN lost their little baby that was 9 months old to cancer. And it's devastating. That's horrible. Um, you can be young, you can be old, you can be, and there's different types of loss. You can lose friends, or you can lose companions to divorce, but also to other things. Take the time to reflect. This is the time to reflect. You don't have to also then go deeply into New Year's resolutions, because I think that's too much pressure. But in order to move forward, we have to reflect back first. Then we may make some choices later as to where we want to go, and reach out to all of us in the community. I welcome anybody that wishes to ever communicate anything to me and ask me any questions, or would like to Zoom with me, or if I can do it, it's possible, I will. I'll be starting teaching again on the 4th, but my schedule's not as rough as it was this last fall. So I'm here for you at heartandsoulconnected.gmail.com, and also here. And I hope you all have a splendid end of the year, and bright blessings for all of you. And thanks to you who did come by on my live feed, even though it wasn't even announced. So thank you. God bless. Namaste.